Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm and our road to Grandmaster. In today's video, we're going to be taking quite a bit of a look at, to spoil the draft slightly, just a teeny little bit, at Arthas. And, well, I mean, I think I said this in the last video, I always give away the hero of the thumbnail. So it's not too much of a spoiler, but we are going to be looking at Arthas and seeing how Arthas is going to perform as a sort of counter pick to melee assassins. And also, I believe we do get that Lunara pick, so we'll be looking at the sort of the synergies that Arthas has, with Lunara and the sort of stuff that she can do. But anyway, this was, just to note, this was obviously, as you can see by the bans, this was before the little patch that came out a couple of days ago. But yeah, this guy was also giving out about Diamond Trash. So I was like, wait, Diamond 3 last season, huh? Okay. Diamond Trash, alright. He does have a good win rate, though, this season. I was like, huh, interesting. Interesting idea right there. This seems a bit self-critical, doesn't it? I don't know. I ruined all those games. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this was before the little patch, so Samura was still very strong, hence why Samura was banned away by me. And yeah, Malfurion was also a little bit stronger, and he was also banned away too. But yeah, I think this should be pretty relevant to the next week. I gotta say, imagine playing, with a lot of Diamond people when you're in Diamond 1. That is truly, truly shocking. It's not necessarily always pleasant, but it is shocking. And I have to agree with what Mr. Nice Guy actually just said there in the chat, that Master's the same shit. 100%, absolutely is. Anyway, Murden and Vala picked for the enemy team, which makes a lot of sense. And I actually quite like all the picks so far. They're all very solid. Obviously, we've got two ranged damage dealers. We've got a burst damage dealer with Li Ming, a sustained damage dealer with Lunara. It'd be really nice to get a great support at this stage. Like an Oriole pick right now would be lovely. And then we could ban Brightwing. Okay, cool. That works as well. Pick Brightwing, might even ban the Oriole. And have a nice time. Oh yeah, but as I'm saying in the chat, Master's worse because you expect better. And he's saying Masters are booted accounts. I'd say it's not boosted. I also don't think it's that easy to reach. I just think that we might have a bit too high of an idea of what Master players are like at the moment. I don't know. It's tough to say. But anyway, we're on about that, the Oriole. And there you go, that's like the three top healers in the game gone. We banned out two, well, two of them got banned out, and we got the Brightwing. And this is why they don't seem to mind too much. They're going for Uther plus the Butcher, which is pretty intense. This guy does not want to play a warrior, so I'm happy to play Arthas. Trying to work out what this guy's saying as well, with going 0-10. The Nubian Master going 0-10 in 7 minutes. I have seen that happen as well. Again, I don't think it's that you have bad players. I don't think it's that you've got someone who's absolutely awful and doesn't deserve to be there. It's just that someone gets tilted and they play like crap, and that's what happens. But anyway, our friend over here in the midst of this conversation is trying to work out some better picks for us, and he's suggesting we play Johanna. I'm saying, like, you go Johanna, I want to go Arthas. And this is going to be our front line. It's a little bit of a squishy front line, but I'm kind of confident that we can make it work. Johanna would have been excellent here as well. Bringing the blind switch would hit the Butcher, and hopefully Vala too. But I was feeling pretty confident about Arthas. And yeah, I wanted to see what would happen when we got into a game and got to bring him out. And like I might have mentioned, I've tried to do a couple of takes on this video. There was a draft before this that got dodged, so I did like my whole intro for that draft, because again, I recorded this about a week ago, and when I got it, then after I finished the goddamn intro, someone dodged the draft and went, well crap, I've just explained everything I wanted to about this video, now I've got to go into the actual proper draft. Obviously cut out the previous one for you guys. Got into the proper draft, I was like, I can't remember what I said in this video and what I said in the bit that was just cut out. God dang it. But yeah, with the Illidan mini rework coming out, with the Karazim rework, with the not a Varian rework, but with just Varian arriving, there's a bunch of melee heroes that are kind of get a little bit of a boost, and we're going to see a bit more of them, I think, in the next patch. And Zeratul as well, though he's not super relevant to this particular case because he's very mobile. But we're going to see all these melee heroes, and Arthas is going to be a pretty nice pick against them. Like, I really do like the Arthas pick as a hero. I'm going to grab block in this game at level 1 to deal with, well, all of their heroes actually. All their damage dealers hit quite hard. You know, Nova, if she picks up either the level 7 talents that boost her basic attack damage, she's going to hit really hard and block will get a lot of value. And then you got the Butcher who hits like a truck. So yeah, that should be pretty relevant. Should work pretty well. And we'll see how this goes. Here we go, pushing into the mid lane. And the Brightwing is very nice as well, of course, against melee assassins. So that's always good to see. Hello, enemy team. Nice to see you. And there you go as we move around. But yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned in this particular episode so far, or if it was in that pre-bit that cut out. But this isn't directly inside the chronology of our Road to Grandmaster thing. This is just like an extra game I'd recorded and thought it was cool to see the Arthas stuff. It's not actually directly part of that. And we will be back on track with that, by the way. Tomorrow with the game where we could... It's actually a little bit slow there reacting to our teammates, unfortunately. We do catch him in the route, and there we go. We walk in with our E and finish him off. The Nova does die anyway to the poison, so that's good stuff. I was getting ready to rotate top to catch that wave of XP, which is why I wasn't prepared for the enemy team getting caught out so badly. Again, this guy is obsessed with the idea of a boosted pre-made. It's really not that. It's really not that. It's just people have bad games. And they're also Masters players, so... I find that Masters players still have some large drafting weaknesses as opposed to like Grandmasters, who usually do a very good job in all circumstances. So that definitely helps, but doesn't help them. It's pretty nice. You can see we actually run up to the Butcher, with the sort of the slow that we're applying. There's Nova down to just blow, as you can see, but they cancel that attack. With the slow that we apply with our E, he's actually not able to kind of stay on top of us and get the value out of his W, his Butcher's brand, in terms of his self-healing that he would like to. So that works out very well for us in the end. The Nova appears and starts attacking. I'm not sure what happened to her, but she's very dead anyway. Miss our route, unfortunately, on the Murden. He's going to be able to walk away, but no harm done. And let's rotate back down to the bottom. Looks like Li Ming actually does get picked off by their Vala. I think their Vala is their team captain as well, so definitely need to be a bit concerned that she could be a very strong player. That's something that I always be watching out for in games as well. It's like, who are going to be the strong players on the teams? What do we need to watch out for? What do we need to worry about? All that sort of stuff. Murden backs off. He doesn't continue chasing the Brightwing. Once he goes into the Fog of War, if he had, we would have rooted him and done some free damage. Never too important though, because he is Murden and heals up passively, but still. But yeah, we will be playing... it's a really good game that should be out for you tomorrow. I've been really sick, which is why there was no video yesterday, and there is going to be a late, very late video today. I was not up to making videos, unfortunately. So yeah, there you go. But hopefully this one will do, and it'll be something to tide you over. The next one is going to be with the rank 1 Grandmaster, and we're going to be against multiple pro players. It's very good game, really interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything about it. I'll just say it's a video that's absolutely worth watching. So there you go. Yeah, look forward to that. In the meantime, let's enjoy this Arthas game. I didn't see what... I forgot to pay attention to what ranks people were. My brain not working very well. Nothing is working well at the moment, unfortunately. It's been that kind of weekend. But oh well. You can see we're spending quite a lot of time solo laning as Arthas. You're pretty good as a solo laner. And you can, like, for example, here we go. Once again, we're doing the exact same thing to the Butcher. We come in, do a chunk of damage to him, and then he has an awful time because he's not able to keep in contact with us when we have the Butcher's brand on top of us. We're able to literally just walk away. He's trying to catch up with us through the Frozen Tempest, and he can't do it, and he's taking a whole chunk of damage, which is pretty nice. Just speaking of my talents, by the way, so we got Block at level 4, we got, I think it might be called Frigid Winds, I forget now off the top of my head what it's called at level 4, because I take it all the time, but it's the one that makes your Frozen Tempest do 30% more damage. So it's a bunch of extra damage, pretty useful. And then at level 7 picked up Rune Tap, and you can see me using it there. Between the Brightwing healing and the Rune Tap every third attack healing us for 4% for max health, we're able to just tank out the towers and just get a bunch of basically very free siege damage down, which will help us as well control those sort of top nuclear points. Come down there, or nuclear, I don't know. And Yeah, we grab the vision point and then come back up to the top lane and continue to soak this XP. Really important, right, that you do soak the XP properly and be getting as much as possible from those lanes. So you can see that sort of combined with the kills we got so far. We're level 9 while the enemy team is still only just about to hit level 8. And quite a favourable spawn on these positions for us as well, with our teammates all being down in the bottom lane and having a strong position there. Pretty useful. That's where 2 nukes spawn. Can't complain about that, and I'm going to be able to grab this top one. I was expecting to be interrupted, but I don't think they actually show up. I think they'd all rotated down. So this leaves my teammates in a little bit of a pickle down there. They're not going to have a fun time. And indeed, they're not. Alarak goes down, though it looks like we did grab the other 2 nukes, so that's pretty good. And I'm just keeping an eye on things as well around the map, making sure I don't overcommit and get caught out. Double kill comes in, can't complain about that at all. And Lunara is delighted, no doubt because they're boosted. And yeah, here we go. Swing down here and start pushing in this mid lane a little bit too. I just want to be close here just in case there's some sort of shenanigans go on down bottom. Again, it's only 2 of our teammates are down at the bottom at the moment. We had one, Alarak died, and Lunara, I think, Hearthstone. So I just want to be close in case there is some sort of gank attempt on our friends down there pushing in. Looks like there's not. I'm going to swing down, steal the siege camp aggressively. And then we'll see exactly where we go. You can see in the mid lane there's some shenanigans going down. They're going to have to deal with that themselves though. Brightwing has gone up to help them. We're coming in here, just disrupting the Butcher a little bit, doing some damage to the wave on the way. Teammates are doing just fine, so that's good. Get in here to grab the XP from these last couple of things. And not bad. Nova actually going down as well. And we're pretty much stomping this game so far. The enemy team hasn't been able to find much success at all, honestly. They've not been able to find much success at all. Lunara really playing a great game. Whereas they do have the Butcher Uther combo, we've basically been shutting the Butcher down ourselves for this whole game so far. And then Uther has a really tough time dealing with Lunara's damage because his AoE healing really isn't all that. On top of that, we've got huge kill pressure from the Alarak and the Li Ming on the squishy targets. So yeah, they're not having a good time at all. You can see I'm kind of eyeing things up here. I know we want to retreat, which I'm being a little bit slow getting down. Basically, expected we would retreat a little bit sooner than we actually did. By the time people pinged it, it was a little bit too late. The enemy team had their level 10s ready. And this is not looking good. This is the turn. This is the turn. But you can see the rough idea was that obviously we wanted to go up and grab the vision point. There was nothing really to keep pressuring for. It was a risky spot. So it was just a better case of moving back, grabbing merc camps, establishing map pressure to the next objective spawn, as opposed to the, sort of the risky business of continuing to push in the keep when it's a bit too early in the game to actually have the pushing pressure to achieve that. I sort of started backing off. Everyone else is a little bit slower, and then they got a good engagement with the Butcher. So that was unfortunate. Should have maybe backed off a little bit slower or pinged retreat myself. We get some nice damage down the Muradin. Nova is on the run as well. However, we don't really have the position to keep chasing quite yet. Level 13, I pick up my other E talent. Again, this is the standard Arthas build I use in nearly every single game. This is the reason I pick him. Gonna do more damage. This Nova actually going very far forwards, taking a huge risk actually. We're just gonna keep in contact with her, keep that E slow on her, and there you go. Down goes Nova. Pretty nice. The thing gets leashed. Li Ming decides, yes, let us kill this. She's really going for it, so that's okay. We did continue the channel while that was going on. Again, like Li Ming's not going to take any significant damage with the Brightwing there healing her up. I just wanted to ensure that we wouldn't be interrupted or something, and that we definitely get that nuke so deep in the enemy lines. And pretty good stuff so far. The Nova player really was not having a good game. Really not having a good game. Gonna push this Merc camp in onto the structures and start doing some damage right there. Muradin going down as well. Nova has respawned. I'm gonna rejoin my team at this point, help them push into this top keep, or the middle keep, excuse me, while the enemy team goes and defends the top one. And at this point, with them drawn away towards the top with Murden dead, we're able to run in with the nukes as well. And so Li Ming misses the tower. These big stationary targets, they're hard to hit. You can see once again, maybe leaving a little bit too quickly actually. But basically, there was no reason to stay in the mid lane. We weren't going to be pushing in onto the core. We don't have a talent tier advantage or anything like that. And it is still early in the game to core. So, you know, it wasn't realistically, there was realistically no, nothing for us to do in that mid lane. So I was just backing off. Probably should have been slower, waited for the team to back off as well before going in. And now the enemy team are coming around. You can see we're starting to throw down some of our damage here. Nice Divine Shield comes out. We're just staying on top of the Butcher, trying to keep him locked out. There you go. We're doing good damage to him. Our Army of the Dead actually doing quite a chunk of damage as well. We do miss our route. Bit of a panic right there. Murden quite thankfully and handily dwarf tossing into us. Run on top of Vala, and she runs into the minion wave. The minion wave kills her while we kind of look on. Grab Remorseless Winter at level 16. And there you go. Pretty nice for us. A full team wipe. For us only losing Li Ming. You see what I'm saying? They really suck. These guys are not having a good game. Not at all. Not at all. They're having a really, really bad time here. But you can see like how they got that pick to start off the fight with the Butcher. Going in with the Lamb to the Slaughter, the Divine Shield. Very difficult to actually then stop him from getting a kill. The only thing that could really stop that would be a cleanse, and if that would be a little bit risky. They do pick off Alarak, but we pick off the Butcher in return. Murden is stuck in a corner now. Just dwarf toss out. And the keep goes down. Nice polymorph from the Brightwing. That's actually huge. That is actually huge.
Double kill.
Beautiful polymorph. The Vala going in for a kill. Lunara almost dying, but the polymorph from the Brightwing, then the Arthas damage on top of the Lunara damage, and they go down. You see him just giving them some B steps. Missed the roots. They could have actually chased a bit harder. But realistically, they didn't have the sort of the positioning in order to do that. You get a lovely Windows notification. Don't you just love when those pop up and cover your mini-map, but we exit off. Doesn't show up in the recording, but you can hear the sound. But yeah, pops up, covers your mini-map. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff.
You may launch when ready.
And here we go. We've got 3 nukes. We have a talent tier advantage as well. We could, in theory, push for the win. You can see the game is also chugging a little bit here because of that update. Very annoying. I'm not sure what it was now. I don't remember. You can see I'm pushing in very aggressively. The way things have been going, I'm very confident that we can just wreck the team fights now. They do the same thing once again with what I was talking about with the Butcher, Lamb to the Slaughter, Divine Shield combo. Brightwing dies and there's literally nothing we can do to save her. But in return, they lose 3 heroes, so that went pretty much the way we were expecting it to. Judged on, based on how the last few team fights are going, looks like the Alarak player is chasing down Nova in the meantime as well. Unfortunately, Li Ming has become Li Ming AI, which is not ideal. And Li Ming AI, it looks like, was also during doing the siege camp. Oh, Li Ming AI. I think AI has a pretty big moment here coming up too, which is worth noting. Which something that you'll have hopefully noticed during the team fights, if you do know a bit about Lunara in this game, is that there's a beautiful nuke from the Li Ming. The tower. She did actually hit the tower, so it's not all bad. She did actually land a hit on the tower, so well played, Li Ming AI. It was beautiful. But Lunara has level 13 talent. I'm almost certain she has it picked up in this game, judging from that how much health bars are going down. But it makes her poison do bonus damage to heroes that are slowed. We are consistently applying slow with our E ability, with our Frozen Tempest. So, yeah, Lunara is just doing huge damage in the team fight. And they're having an awful time having to deal with her. Look at that, yeah, she definitely has it. You can see that Nova just melting with that poison damage on top of her. Trying to keep Lunara alive at this point. Got no mana, so we're trying to ration it out in terms of our roots and then the slows. There we go. Get the slow on the Murden. Murden goes down. Divine Shield on the Uther. Just a very little bit of swag right at the end of the game. And Lunara is proud of his kill counter, which is something personally would have never noticed, but there you go. We actually got MVP in this game. Oh, that's nice. Awesome. Yeah, siege damage and XP. That's fairly expected. Well, actually, the siege damage is a bit a bit unexpected considering we had Lunara. But I suppose we got a few nukes. And then we were obviously doing a lot of the solo lane stuff. So there you go. You can see this was actually from way earlier in Diamond 1. But yeah, I think showing you some of the power of Arthas. You can see we did a ton of damage. A lot more than Li Ming, actually. Biting Cold, Rune Tap, Army of the Dead, Frigid Winds, Remorseless Winter. There you go. That is the Arthas build. Huge fan of that. Huge fan of Arthas. I think he's fantastic. I think, as you saw, he's very strong against these melee heroes. Combos as well. Very, very nicely with Lunara and the sort of stuff that she's able to do with that level 13 talent and with all the sort of spread damage that she is getting. It just adds up to a whole ton of poison damage. And yeah, I mean, no complaints really. I think that game really showcased the strength of him. Yeah, actually just double checking the damage stats. We did the same amount of damage effectively. Hero damage as Alarak. In fact, we did 3 times his siege damage. We did about the same amount of hero damage. Lunara obviously doing more hero damage than us. But yeah, we topped the siege damage. We had a very solid game. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Especially because I think that Arthas is not a super meta pick at the moment. A lot of people don't know how strong he is or appreciate him. For example, like in the drafts, they were calling for Johanna instead of Arthas. And I was kind of going, no, I'm actually competent in the Arthas in this particular case. I think it's going to work well. And as you saw, it worked out very, very nicely. So there you go, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you all tomorrow for that Grandmaster game. It's going to be really enjoyable. The pros and the Grandmasters. If you're a fan of Team Misfits and Hasuops, you're going to enjoy it too. He's on the enemy team. And yeah, I will see you guys then. I'm not going to spoil anything. Bye-bye.